Hello, hello. Welcome back to part two of prop inspired building. We are continuing our work on the divine ruins. It's great to have you guys here. Why don't we just get started then? All right, so I was excited to get back to this, but I had to give myself a couple days or so to gather up all the astrolites that I need and totally not spend even more diamonds on this. Yeah, I totally didn't spend any more. Totally did not spend at least another 200 to 300 diamonds. I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, right here, I am trying to get this symmetrical. And I'm failing at it for a while. I keep constantly flying back up into the sky, take a look at it from afar to see if I'm doing any of this right. It's just a lot of finessing, a lot of stressing myself out for no reason, you know? But then I eventually did settle on something and realized the way that I was shaping it was just too much work for what it was worth. So I ended up just switching it up a bit, making it go fully diagonal to the back, and then tried my best to connect it. And when I took a step back and looked at it, it looks a lot better, definitely. I just needed to finesse these a little bit more to get it to where it needs to be. But that looks better. Take another look at it. Definitely better. Still a little bit off, but that's okay. And here I am counting all the squares, making sure each side was even. Making sure I had everything lined up properly because I just knew something else was off, and I think I just needed to move that one just a little bit. Now we just got to do the back of it. There we go. This building stressed me out. Gotta fix these damn walls. There we go. That looks a little bit better, at least for now. And the wall was getting on my nerves again, so I was trying to fix it. I had to turn that again. That's okay because look at it. Wow, it looks so good. And then I'm working on the pillars, making sure I'm getting the placement all correcto mundo. I actually had a lot of fun with the pillars and playing around with how tall I wanted them. And I'm also making sure that everything is symmetrical. Yeah, it's looking good so far. Just gotta add a couple more in the back. Indeed, indeed. Make them even taller. I wanted them to be tall as fuck. Then I ended up moving this one because I felt like it was a little too close and cramped with everything that was happening in that section. But I do end up moving that later on because I know the placement of the prop and the fountain was just more like a placeholder. And I also wanted to make some of the pillars floating. I do wish they had kind of an animation like the prop does, where it kind of just like goes up and down slightly. That would be so nice, but unfortunately we don't have that. But I like the vibe of them being disconnected because of course these are ruins. It's not supposed to be perfect. Which is why I'm adding in holes into the ground around the stairs. We're gonna put some rocks inside of the holes to kind of blend in those sharp edges. I stressed myself out with this part because it was not fun getting these rocks in there. But I did pretty decent for what I was working with here. And this one I thought I couldn't fit at first, but then I just had to turn it just the right way. Just finesse it. And there we go, all good. Move on to the other side. Yes. Me thinking I could fit another pair of those right there, but knowing I couldn't, but then kept trying anyway because I'm freaking Delulu. Girl, don't even stop trying, girl. Girl, don't even. You know you can't do it. Why do you keep trying? Why do you hate yourself? There you go, move on. All right, on to the next one. After I realized I don't hate myself as much as I used to, and we're all about self-love here, so let's not stress ourselves out, you know? Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good, pretty solid. I'm gonna add some foliage, some flowers to hide the harsh edges that I couldn't get with the rocks. And also just to make it look all cute, make it look like nature was trying to reclaim the ruins and turn it back to what it once was. That was kind of the vibe I was going for. Overgrown, lived in, abandoned for thousands of years, you know? That's what we're going for. The vibes are supposed to be vibing, and I was determined to make it so, you know? Yeah, no, that's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty legit. I'm gonna add in some, what are these things called? I'm gonna add in some podiums, some stone podiums. I don't know why I forgot the word for that. And I felt like the podiums were kind of missing something, so I was trying to find something that I could put on top of it. And then I remembered that I had these like little golden lamp things. Look at those lanterns. I don't know why I call them lamps. They're lanterns, but you know, whatever. They do the same shit. They emit light. And then I was trying to figure out what I can do with these open corner spaces. So I ended up making like these blocked off entrances with some fencing. I thought it would look cute, you know? At first I was putting it behind it, not realizing I could put it inside of it, like within the threshold. But once I realized that, it came out so much better. Then I'm just putting in these walls here to block off this area. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with this, so I kind of just bullshitted with it until I found something that I could tolerate. That's pretty much what was happening here. All right, we're pretty much done with that overall. I'll go in later to add some foliage on top of that little area that I created just to fill it in, you know, just like it's shown here. I added some flowers here and there, some fencing. I fixed this wall over here, getting rid of these floors so it's not sticking out the back, because we live ghetto over here, but we ain't that ghetto, you know. It ain't gonna be that ghetto. It's ruins, but she's a classy ruins. And I was trying to see if I could place these flower bed things somewhere to cover it up, but I realized I wasn't going to be able to. So then I kind of just did some fencing like I did in that one little side area. It's like, I guess my thought with this was like, what if someone discovered these ruins and then they lived here for a little bit and they were feeling unsafe about those holes in the ground, so they decided to create their own little fencing to put there. And then they put these pillars here to give the place a little bit of flavoring. And then somehow trees grew from under the ground up those holes in the floor, which was just, you know, nature being perfect. Look at that. So cute. So demure. Very mindful. Not too much. Not too little. Looking cute. Little moments. I would have to fix these little parts because they were looking a little misplaced. And then the idea that I had about the trees growing from the ground up through these holes, I just couldn't get it out of my head at this point, so I decided to put it into practice. And it actually came out pretty lovely. I fell down the hole and was trying to get myself out of there, but look at that. Look how pretty that is. Oh my God. So I decided to replicate it on this side as well because, you know, some parts of it I wanted to have symmetry, other parts not so much, because you don't want to have too much symmetry when it comes to ruins. It has to be asymmetrical. It needs to look like, it needs to look effortless, not like someone did it on purpose, you know? Even though I did, you know, that's not the point. We're going for effortlessness. What are words? Let's not worry about it. We ain't got to worry about the words. Words are just words. They're just incoherent noises we make as humans that we understand. All right, now it is time to move these props Place them in a better spot now that we have everything figured out for the most part. Move the fountain over to the side, and then we're gonna put the original prop more in the center, and then we're gonna put the alternative prop next to it on the other side. Because why just have one when I can have two, and I can have dos. I was also trying to find some stuff I can place on the ground here because I do feel like the ground's a little bit empty. If anybody has any suggestions for what I could do to fill the space within here, that would be great. But for now, I'm just messing around with things. Putting these little soul bobbly stones on the ground until I realized that I only had one and had to delete the other two. Sad tear down my face. Just a small tear trickling down my cheek as I want to die. Anyway, placing some pretty flowers. I ended up scrapping that because as cute as that looked, I wish we could like mirror things, and we could not. So it just looked a little ghetto, you know. And I tried rotating it to see if I could work with it because I really wanted to have these because it kind of matched the colors and the flowers that were on the original prop. But it didn't work out that way, no matter how hard I wanted it to. So yeah, that's what kind of happened here. Yeah. Oh well, I tried. Here, watch my desperation. Very sad to watch, I know. So I ended up just going with these. Felt a little bit cleaner, a little bit more classy, and as if it was growing out of the walls, you know? So I figured that would be a better idea. As pretty as the other flowers were, they were kind of bulky, and there wasn't really a whole lot I could do with it, unfortunately. But these look cute. These work perfectly fine. Yeah. Look at that, so pretty. Oh my god, I love it. So then I ended up trying to replicate this side onto the other one. At least a bit. Like, it wasn't going to be fully perfect. Again, we're going for asymmetry here for the most part. I don't know why I thought that would look okay, but I guess I did that and then I got rid of it instantly because I was like, yo, that's ghetto. But there we go. That's definitely better. Yes. All right. Cool. Just gotta block it off now with the fencing. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Never been seen before. Give it a little bit of personality, a little bit of splash. And then we're gonna put this here because we're gonna cover that one spot. And we're gonna put some over here for some continuity, you know? Like, oh no, and then I decided to change my mind because I felt like the coverage was not enough. So then I opted for finessing this to cover it as much as I possibly could. There we go. We're getting somewhere. Yup. Bring it up a little bit more. And good. Nice. All right, cool. Then I was trying to grab this so I can replicate it because I think it needed a little bit more coverage. And then I'm going to add a little bit more foliage over here. Make it more overgrown. Look at that. So pretty. Yeah, and then I realized that there was like a space that you can still see through a little bit. So then I ended up adding even more coverage on this side. You can never have enough coverage. There we go. Much better. Add a couple more over here. And then I forgot to add this in over here, just to fill in that guy up. Yep, there we go. And there's a little bit of clipping happening here, but that's okay because we're gonna cover it with flowers. Great use of the flowers. If you need to cover something up with it, just use the flowers. They will block out anything. They will hide your taxes, your credit, your depression, your anxiety, your existential thoughts, your delulu-ness, your delusions. Everything. Covers it up. Covers all of it up. You need something covered up? Put some flowers over it. What needs a band-aid? Put some flowers. And then I'm taking away all of this because it looks ghetto and messy, which I was planning on getting rid of it anyway. It was just kind of there as placeholders, I guess, just in case I wanted to do something with the back area. I wasn't sure exactly how big I was going to make these ruins, but I think this is pretty good. So let's get rid of all this nastiness. It's so messy. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it looks so much better without all of it. And then I ended up getting rid of the floors that were underneath it because I didn't like the way they looked. And yeah, so let's get rid of that little nasty. All right, we're getting somewhere. And then I wanted to cover up the sides of the flooring from above because it kind of sticks out of the wall. And then I put a pillar right here just to make this look intentional and definitely not on accident. And then I decided, you know, if I get rid of the floors underneath this thing, it's gonna look like the building's floating. So why not use these pillars to make it look like it's holding up the whole building? And it's just like elevated off the ground, just a smidgen, you know? So I did that. And then I realized when you step back, you can still kind of see the flooring underneath. So I ended up going inside of the bottom of the building and got rid of all of it. I was thorough. Plus I can use this for a later build, which my next build, I'm planning on doing a castle. I don't know if it's going to be a floating castle. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a floating castle, but I saw someone's video on YouTube of their castle that was on like a floating island. And it was gorgeous. I am going to put them right here on the screen just so you can look at it, admire it, drool over it. And I will make sure to link their video in my description, just in case you want to pop over there and look at their house tour. It was gorgeous. I highly, highly recommend it. And then we're going to fly over here just so we can get a view of everything. Wow, look at it. But that's pretty much it. As always, I hope you guys keep making beautiful wishes and may your heart be your guiding key. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. It's floating, so why not use these pillars to make it look like it's holding up the whole building? It's just like elevated off the ground, just a smidgen, you know? So I did that. And then I realized when you step back, you can still kind of see the flooring underneath. So I ended up going inside of the bottom of the building and got rid of all of it. I was thorough. Plus I can use this for a later build, which my next build, I'm planning on doing a castle. I don't know if it's going to be a floating castle. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a floating castle, but I saw someone's video on YouTube of their castle that was on like a floating island. And it was gorgeous. I am going to put them right here on the screen just so you can look at it, admire it, drool over it. And I will make sure to link their video in my description, just in case you want to pop over there and look at their house tour. It was gorgeous. I highly, highly recommend it. And then we're going to fly over here just so we can get a view of everything. Wow, look at it. But that's pretty much it. As always, I hope you guys keep making beautiful wishes and may your heart be your guiding key. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.